Hey guys, so today I'm actually doing a little bit of a downgrade on my Pilot RC Edge 39 Foam PP model, which I get into. I'm making the motor smaller. So this has gobs of power. It's on a 4S setup. It's currently got a SunnySky X2220 V3 980 kV motor. I'm running a 4S lithium high voltage setup. And I'm running a 10 by 4.7 carbon fiber propeller. The only challenge with this setup with the 1300 milliamp lithium high voltage is that I do struggle to hit the CG. It does go to about 85 millimeters. The manual recommends 85 to 90, so I'm able to hit the front end of what's recommended. But I've still got a decent amount of up elevator trim, and it seems to be a little bit unstable in inverted flight, and it really wants to fight being in a hover. So I'm keen to see if getting the CG back is going to help that a bit. Now this is the same setup that I had on the previous Future RC Edge. This one flies much better. You'll hear all my thoughts about that in the full review. But I have gone to some pretty extreme lengths to get the CG right. So I'll pop this open here. I'll show you when I'm flying it. I think it'll be better if you look on this view. I actually cut out all through here so that I can mount this battery up in there. I've got a strap that goes around it as well. So with that being said, this motor is going to have to come out. I'm going to get a slightly smaller one, which is shock horror, another SunnySky motor, another V3, another Blue X series. It's just a 2216, not a 2220. That refers to either the width or the length, I don't know, but it's 16 mil instead of 20 mil. Long story short, it's about 15 grams lighter, maybe 20. It's going to be a little bit shorter on the nose, so I'm going to be able to align the spinner with the cowl properly. So I'm going to realign that now as well. This should be a pretty simple drop in. You're going to take off the prop, spinner, the motor, the cowl. I'm going to take the motor out. I'm going to plug this one into the ESC, make sure it spins the right way, of course. Mount everything back. I'm going to realign the cowl so that it fits a bit nicer. I'll check the first holes first, and then we're going to see how much power it's got from that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn this on, plug it all in, and get my watt meter on. And I'm going to see how much power that this setup currently has, because I want to make sure I don't lose too much. It's 30 kV less. It's 950 kV, not 980. It's a smaller motor. It's going to have less momentum to spin the propeller, so I probably will lose some wattage. But I think this setup sitting at like 500 watts under load, maybe even 600 at peak, which is 300 watts a pound. It's insane. If I get 250 and I can get this balanced right, I think I'm going to have a much better flying experience. So I'm going to plug this in down here, plug in my watt meter. I'll move this camera across so we can see it and then see how much power it's got currently. Okay, I'm going to set my JR XG8 to my edge setting. There we go. My trusty 10-year-old Turnigy amp meter. I don't think this is going to come through very good on the video, clarity-wise. But I still want you to be able to see it. If you can read that, we will see in editing. $582 watts. Okay, so I don't think anyone will say that 582 watts is underpowered. As long as it's close to that with this new setup, I think we're going to be okay. So it's time to start pulling it apart, change the motor out, and then we're going to balance it. I've got a CG cradle. We'll see how far we can get the CG back ultimately. Small workshop when you're trying to film YouTube videos on a 1.2 meter table. So it is 2 screws for the spinner. Okay, so now we're going to take the propeller off. There's the other side here. Spinner back plate. Propeller's off. Next, we're going to take the cowl off. got the cowl off, I can sit aside now, which is important. And we're going to get a bit of a stronger screwdriver. We're going to take the motor off. Okay, so we're going to unscrew the motor now. Next up, I'm just going to have to remove that little cable tie quickly. Now, we'll open the new motor. Accessories kit, motor. Perfect, that's what I was hoping for. So you can see it's a little bit shorter. I think the proper adapter will even fit because they're both 22 series motors. Let's see. I might not even need to open the hardware kit, which is a happy coincidence. Does it slide onto this one? Yes, it does. It's a slightly different shade of blue, but I do not care, because if that means I don't have to open the other hardware, that's an easier installation for me. Great thing about this ESC setup, which is a SunnySky 40 amp. The colours all matched, the polarity all matched, and I'm sure it's going to be the same. So yeah, just a little bit shorter. Just a little bit shorter. Genius. I'm going to Loctite those screws. Blue Loctite, I think it's one of the weaker ones. Stronger than nothing. Just a little tiny bit on the tip. That's all you need. So high power setup, high RPM setup being 4S, so it's really important that you Loctite the screws, get them in tight the first time. I actually might even go back and take those, the ones that are holding the prop adapter in. I probably should have Loctited them, so I'm going to go back and Loctite those. Now I'm going to get a cable tie, put it the same way after I screw this motor on. So I've got a cable tie handy. So handy in there. And that's going to mount perfectly, exactly the same as before. Make sure it spins the right way. Armed. Beautiful. It's going back on after we mount this. This cable ties, I'm not trying to make anything too tight here. It's all going to move around, I'm sure. Hopefully it doesn't get damaged in flight. The other one didn't. The canopy, it's called. Got the name right. Back on, make sure this is all good. Backing plate, fits the same. It's definitely not even, but it is close enough, is good enough, I think. I've always said that. Props going back on. Done. Motor is downgraded. I'm happy with the fitment of the spinner. You can see it's still Far from perfect, but it's definitely a lot closer. I'm going to see how much power it's got now. The other one had 583 watts. Alright, verdict's in. 530 watts. So I've lost 50 watts of power, which I think is going to be okay. It still feels absolutely ballistic. The real test now is with the battery in the same spot. I'm going to set my CG meter to 90 mil. And what I'm hoping I see is a tail heavy plane. So that means I've got room to move with my CG. Ultimately, if it even just hits 90, I'll be absolutely wrapped. So as you can see, that's how the battery's mounted in there. Can't get it further back. I've cut out part of the wing. Now it is time to see if that was a waste of time. Yes! Alright, so with the battery in its spot at 90 mils, I'm just slightly tail heavy. If I set it to 95, just want to see how tail heavy it is. Perfect, so my CG with the battery back as far as it can go now is somewhere between 90 and 95 mil, which means I'm going to have room to play with in terms of where I put my battery, but I'm going to try and fly it with this really tail heavy CG because I don't know if I'm measuring it correctly. Based on how it's flying, it tracks super well and it tumbles really hard. With how much up elevator trim I have, I'd be surprised if it was at the starting point of where the CG should be, if it was really at 85. This little wooden cradle is off AliExpress, maybe it's inaccurate, I don't know. My setup certainly should have been nose heavy. It's a heavier motor than recommended. It's 4-cell, bigger battery. It all makes sense. But yeah, so this plane here, I'm 33 flights into the Pilot RC Edge. I love this plane. There is no chance that this isn't staying as a part of my fleet. I try and keep my planes at 5. As you can see, I've got 3 behind me at the moment. I've got an ARF up there of the laser to replace, which I'll get to story time on that a little bit later. But it's hard to see this plane not earning its spot in the 5 all the time. For foam, it flies so good, it's so durable. It's had some pretty shonky landings. I'll show you now some footage of how hard it rotates and I throw it around. It's really blurry because from my old GoPro, hopefully it gets a little bit better with this new GoPro 13, but this is how I throw the plane around. It's got lots of power. It's had plenty of dings, plenty of crashes. Servos have held up great. I've got HS65 MGs all around here. They've all been good. SunnySky ESC, SunnySky motor, really happy with that. Corona receiver paired with my JR transmitter, that's all been great. GNB lipos. Performs excellent. Literally the only thing that I haven't done that's stock is the bigger wheels because of where I fly from. Yeah, it's white foam, so it gets a little bit dirty, but it's a foam plane. That's what they do. I love this plane. I'll review it again at 50 flights, but you probably will get sick of me talking about it because I love it. This one will be in reels and videos for a long time to come, I am sure. Cheers.